My boyfriend's family didn't know I could read lips. What I caught them saying saved his niece's life. I've been deaf since I was 3. I can't hear at all, but I do know how to pay attention. When you can't hear, you learn to watch everything. Your other senses heighten. Facial expressions, body language, and yes, reading lips. I've been reading lips since I was a kid, and I'm really good at it. When I started dating Jackson, his family was incredibly welcoming. They learned basic signs, always made sure I was included, and Jackson would always translate between us. They had no idea I was catching full conversations from across the room, but Jackson actually asked me not to mention that I can read lips at first. He wanted his family to get comfortable signing, and he liked being the translator, so I just went along with it. Everything was fine for 3 months. Then came his niece Jade's 4th birthday party. That's where everything exploded. Tanya is Jackson's older sister and Jade's mom. She pushed the family hardest to learn sign language when Jackson first introduced me. She printed out ASL charts, corrected people's hand shapes, and always made a point to sign "love you" when I walked in. The party was packed, balloons everywhere, a bounce house in the corner, kids running around screaming. Jackson stayed by my side for the first hour, translating conversations and making sure I felt included. Then his mom asked him to run out and pick up the cake. The bakery had messed up the order. He kissed my forehead and said he'd be 20 minutes tops. That's when it started. Tanya was standing near the drink table with Jackson's aunt. I wasn't looking directly at them, but I could see their reflections in the sliding glass door. Tanya said, "She's sweet, but she's not wifey material. He's going to get tired of being her translator." Her aunt nodded. "He's gonna give up his life to take care of her. That's not fair to him." Tanya shrugged. "I just hope he figures it out before he does something stupid like proposing." I kept my eyes on my drink and didn't react. 10 minutes later, I caught more. Tanya's husband joked to one of the uncles that at least Jackson would win every argument since I couldn't hear him anyway. They both laughed. Then Tanya started up again with Jackson's mom, Linda, by the gift table. I'm not saying she's a bad person. I just think Jackson deserves someone who's actually capable. Like, what happens if they have kids? She wouldn't even hear them crying. Linda sighed. "But he seems happy." "For now," Tanya said. "But happiness doesn't pay the bills when you're doing everything for 2 people." I watched Jackson's mom nod sadly, like I was some terminal diagnosis her son hadn't accepted yet. By then, I had stopped counting the comments. I just sat there holding a plate of food I wasn't eating, smiling whenever someone looked my way. That's when I noticed Jade had slipped away. Everyone was distracted. The adults were talking, the older kids were in the bounce house, and Jade wandered through the back door into the house completely unsupervised. I saw her go. No one else did. Tanya was in the middle of telling an aunt that Jackson was wasting his best years on someone like me when her own daughter disappeared inside alone. She didn't even glance toward the door. Tanya added, "I mean, honestly, would you trust her alone with a child? She can't even hear if something goes wrong." 90 seconds later, Jade stumbled back through the door. Her face was pale and she was clutching her stomach. Her lips moved, but nothing came out loud enough for anyone to hear. Then her legs buckled and she hit the patio hard. She collapsed. Everyone panicked at once. Tanya threw herself onto the ground next to Jade, grabbing her face, screaming, "What's wrong? What happened, baby?" Jade's mouth was moving, but her voice was gone. Just air. No one could hear her. I could see her lips clearly. I knelt down beside her and watched. "I had a headache," she mouthed. "I took the medicine in Mommy's purse, the orange bottle." I stood up and looked directly at Tanya. Then I spoke out loud. "My voice isn't perfect, but it's clear enough when I need it to be. She had a headache. She took pills from an orange bottle in your purse." The whole patio went still. Tanya stared at me like she was seeing a ghost. "What? No, that's just ibuprofen." Someone yelled, "Call 911. Get the ibuprofen." Tanya didn't move. Her husband grabbed her purse and found the bottle. He opened it. The pills inside weren't ibuprofen. Someone said, "What the hell is that?" Tanya started crying. Not for Jade, for herself, because everyone was about to find out exactly what she'd been hiding. Turns out the ibuprofen was actually opioids Tanya had been hiding. The doctor said without knowing what Jade consumed immediately, she would have died. Funny how the person who can't hear an emergency was the only one who caught it.